then both of your legs, and then we will eat your face right off your head. You will be this armless, legless, faceless thing, won't you? Going down the street like a turd in the wind. What the hell are you? We are Venom. Welcome to the Pixel Pop Movie Podcast. I am your host, Toby. This fortnight I am joined with the always up to date with the news, Ethan.
That's me.
And the, well, ships passing in the night, kind of, sometimes around Jesse.
Hi. That was a very apt description.
Yeah, it kind of was. Okay, so this fortnight, we've got a lot of news to get through as always. And then we're going to have a topic of conversation that Jesse's dreamed up, and we're going to be looking at anti-heroes. So I'm sort of kind of interested to hear what... Because I'm sure Jesse's got some, as usual, some really obscure... You know, did you see that anti-hero in the 1935 film by... You know, it should be good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm just thinking of Liam Neeson as Darkman forever.
Alright, but before we get into that, let's start with the news as always. Please take us away, Ethan.
So today we'll start with a little continuation from last fortnight, and that was about James Gunn, as there's more things to come out about him, specifically some from the cast. Dave Bautista has now stated that he's
going to kill everybody in the known universe.
Someone tweeted him and says, "Love your support for James Gunn. Do you have any plans or response if Disney doesn't reinstate him for Guardians of the Galaxy 3? He responded and said, "I would do what I'm legally obligated to do, but Guardians without James Gunn is not what I signed up for. Guardians of the Galaxy without James Gunn isn't Guardians of the Galaxy." It's also, yeah, he went on to explain more about how he doesn't, it's not Guardians without James Gunn. Further to that, he said that where I'm at right now, if no one doesn't use the script that James Gunn wrote, then I'm going to ask them to release me from my contract, cut me out or recast me. I'll be doing James a disservice if I didn't. So he's pretty damn loyal to James Gunn at the moment.
Yeah. Again, like we said last week, though, I mean, if he's stuck in a contract, breaking it would be it would be economic suicide, and he'd probably struggle to get another gig in Hollywood.
Yeah, he would.
Oh well, poor Drax.
Yeah. Further on, there's also Warner Brothers is apparently interested in hiring James Gunn to do some things, and I think one of the rumored ones was Green Lantern. He was being rumored that Warner Brothers was seeking him for that, but the thing is, James Gunn can't sign on to anything, to any new job, until his exit from Disney is formally completed, which it's currently not. He's negotiating the terms of his release now. But his saving grace is apparently Kevin Feige and Marvel are apparently in talks with Disney to get him reinstated. Because they realize, I guess they kind of realize that it needs...
Yeah, although from what I read, it was not necessarily Guardians, but another Marvel project.
So they said that he may not do Guardians, but he may direct and or write some future Marvel movies.
That Feige's probably very keen, or not... I wouldn't want to say desperate, but certainly very keen to probably keep him on for Adam Warlock and that sort, and more of the universe stuff, like off-Earth stuff, because that seems to be where Gunn the cosmic stuff is where Gunn seemed to do a lot of the planning.
Well, he's set up so much. You see, all the original Guardians team with Sylvester Stallone and all that from Guardians 2. Mm-hmm. You've got teasers for Nova and Adam Warlock and all the rest. So he's set up a ginormous cosmic universe for them.
Yeah, exactly.
If he's not there to guide that along, then it's just not going to go as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it just me, or is this Disney saying, well, we won't hire him back for Guardians 3, but we'll put him on something else? That's really semantics, isn't it? Like, you're just sticking to your guns about firing James Gunn over Guardians, and you're going to put him on another project? Like, why
but at the same time, it's sort of like
Guardians?
It's kind of like disciplining a child, in that, you have to be seen to do something, but at the same time, you're not going to rip its arms and legs off. You know what I mean? And the thing is, and the punishment suiting the crime. I mean, this is stuff that he tweeted 10 years ago. I mean, the fact that there's still negotiations and all the rest of it says to me that, sure, he was sort of giving them a slap across the wrist, but they're not ready to get rid of him completely, so...
No. And I think that they've definitely been bogged down in the shitstorm that this has created.
Yeah,
it's almost not worth their hassle to do this.
But at the same time, if they completely renege, then it sort of shows a bit of weakness. So I think the smart play.
How many other actors will start to play up?
I think the smart thing to do for Disney, really, looking at it now, would be to keep Gunn on the payroll, put him into the next round of movies, and maybe have him on Guardians 3 with his script and maybe a producer sort of role. You know,
no. The smart thing would be for them to get Zack Snyder.
What?
They just need Axe Gun all together. Like, Zack, get in here, buddy.
To be honest,
so dark.
I don't object to that because I actually liked a lot of Zack Snyder movies. And,
I like Zack Snyder.
And his movies that he's done for the DC movies are the best ones there are. So I'll be happy with them.
I just want to see him come in and make the Guardians like really angsty and very
and gritty and dark.
Everything
really
shades
politically
of blue.
Drawn.
Yeah,
well, to further into this a little bit more, is because of all this going on, it means that Guardians of the Galaxy is probably going to get delayed, and because of that, Chris Pratt's other movie he signed on for, Cowboy Ninja Viking, that has now been delayed indefinitely as well to sort out how long the Guardians 3 is going to take.
Damn, we'll never get to see Cowboy Ninja Viking. What a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's pretty messy. Hopefully we see a resolution soon.
Hopefully, yeah. Next we've got Scott Derrickson, director of Doctor Strange, Instagrammed out a picture of Doctor Strange with a caption that says, "Not my will, but thine be done. See you in September," which a lot of people think that's going to be the announcement of another Doctor Strange movie, which would be strange to release that now considering Doctor Strange died in Infinity War. But maybe Marvel's just like, hey, let's just quickly announce Doctor Strange to get people excited since Guardians is a bunch of drama.
Well, I mean, we've already announced Spider-Man, so...
Exactly, and there's a Guardians 3, so you can't have Guardians 3 come back with, everyone dead except Rocket, so...
Although I did see, I can't remember where I read it, someone was like, you know what, if we don't do Guardians 3, let's just make it Thor 4.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, because now Thor is everyone's favourite.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Also, we had Daredevil Season 3 is confirmed to premiere this year.
Yep.
We don't know when. We know that Iron Fist is going to be, is it 7th of September or 10th of September, around there?
Yeah, which means Daredevil's going to be like a Christmas jobby, I'd
November,
say.
November, December.
I reckon early December, yep.
Oh, hopefully.
That's pretty awesome. That's going to be, what, 3?
4 this year.
4, yeah.
We Jessica Jones, Luke Cage,
that's right, Yep, and then
Iron Fist in this. So next year we'll get Jessica Jones Season 3, which is still filming. Punisher Season 2 is just finished filming, like today.
Right.
And we'll probably get Luke Cage Season 3 next year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Daredevil.
Too? No
I wouldn't think so. I think what we're just going to see more and more crossover within the main shows, I suspect.
Yeah. Well,
they'll do the DC television treatment.
Yeah, not DC. Netflix has said that they're still having ongoing discussions with Marvel on doing new shows. So I don't think that means that all are completely, cut out once Disney's streaming service is available.
No, it's just it's stuff that Marvel made. So I think it's Ant-Man and the Wasp's the last one to go to Netflix.
Yep, it is.
And then Captain Marvel goes to the Disney service. So, but I mean, the Daredevil is made by Netflix, so it's really, I guess, just how long they have the contract for.
Yeah, and Daredevil was like one of Netflix flagship shows.
Well, I mean, they're still having discussions on making
more characters and stuff. Yeah.
They've probably got like a limited bag of tricks that they can pull from their prior negotiations, but Disney's probably slowly but surely pulling that rope ever thinner just to make.
I think Marvel's and Disney's got the right idea. Like, there's some characters that suit the big screen, and then there's some that need more exposition and work better on the smaller screen, and it gives them a chance to use those characters. You're not going to really put. I mean, you look at the Avengers team lineup. Where does sort of Jessica Jones fit in that? Where does Daredevil fit in that? Where does Iron Fist... Like, Daredevil specifically, he's just got good hearing. You know what I mean?
Ant-Man.
Yeah, but he's in a suit.
I like Ant-Man a lot, but really...
It's just a dude, yeah. But then so's Tony Stark, right? Other than being smart and full of money. So, all I'm saying is, though, there's definitely, I feel, characters that are suited better to street-level crime. And I think in those instances, they're better off in a series than a movie. So... I don't know. I mean, Marvel and Disney seem pretty smart. I think they'll sort of look, and there's so many characters in the Marvel. You go to the Marvel wiki and it just goes on forever. I think there's plenty they could do, and keep doing at a street level.
Well, like, you put it this way with Marvel and Disney's, like, how smart they are with what they're doing. They've set up Marvel so well as a cinematic universe, and just a money-making machine anyway, that the more issues they have with Star Wars, which has just been getting, like, it's been building and building since Force Awakens, they could completely fuck Star Wars up and they still won't have a problem because Marvel makes so much money.
Sure. So let's see Darth Vader in, you know, Avengers 5.
Fighting Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
Alright. Next, we have Netflix has purchased movie rights and developing an adaptation of George Orwell's iconic novel Animal Farm. Andy Serkis is directing and producing.
Cool.
So with them just buying as Mowgli, it seems like they're probably pretty keen to still work with Andy Serkis. I think it's all going to be motion captured again as well.
Well, that's probably why they got Serkis, because he's, after Lord of the Rings, like, he's been the go-to guy for mocap.
They're like, fuck, this guy could play a really good asshole pig.
Matt Reeves is producing again, which they teamed up with for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for Planet of the Apes, so they're working together again on this. Next we have LeBron's James Space Jam 2 lines up a director. I don't know why we need
Wait, Space Jam 2 is happening?
Yeah, this has been in the works for a long time.
Has it?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't hear about this at all.
Yeah. This has been in the works for a long time with LeBron James.
The Monsters coming back.
Yeah, I don't know why we need it, but we are.
Space. What do you mean you don't know why we did Space Jam?
Yeah, well,
wrong generation for me.
Itself.
Oh my god,
I never even watched the original.
I must be the perfect generation out of the three of us here. Like,
probably
that's my childhood.
Oh no, I remember watching it along like heaps.
I love Space Jam.
Next we have Marvel is reportedly behind shutting down Donald Glover's Deadpool, not FX. FX has said that they would have done the show, but it wasn't their decision. So it seems like Marvel were the ones who pulled out of it.
Fair enough.
This is a shutdown. Don't see me directing now. Don't see me producing now. That was terrible.
It's possible.
It was possible? Okay, thanks.
Well enough, we knew what you were talking about.
Next we have Ben Schwartz is going to voice Sonic the Hedgehog in the live-action movie. And Jim Carrey also revealed that he's doing live-action Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah,
I really don't know how to feel about this.
I mean, there's not enough. There's just not enough computer animation in the world to recreate Jim Carrey's face. That thing is made out of rubber.
The man of elastic has finally become loose elastic.
Oh, so there's a bit more. So the lead human role is going to be James Marsden, who was Cyclops in the original X-Men movies, has been recently in Westworld. He's playing a cop who befriends the speeding hedgehog.
What the fuck is this Sonic movie about?
It's already filming because he's been seen interacting with a green suit stand-in for Sonic.
Are they going to make like a buddy cop movie out of Sonic the Hedgehog?
Can I just say, I am more excited for the internet-made Sonic versions of this movie that are inevitably going to happen than the actual movie itself, because it's so inevitable that someone's going to turn the volume up to 12 and just put in the shit animation.
How are they going to explain his rings and in live action?
Maybe Adam Sandler is a co-producer. Someone saw Pixels.
Maybe you just need to be really, really high when you watch this.
I don't want
Kevin Smith's
Sonic to
gonna
be
feel
sullied
this
by
movie.
fucking Adam Sandler.
Oh boy.
Sandler presents Sonic the Hedgehog.
Gotta go fast.
That's
the trailer right there.
The trailer is just some shitty YouTube video with the crayon picture of Sonic.
Not even voice, just text. Gotta go fast.
Yeah. And then the internet goes, yes, we will go see this.
Kickstarter funded in under 24 hours.
Next bit is some news for Jesse, and that is Ben Affleck is still producing The Batman. Filming starts spring of 2019. Although he's producing it, we still don't know if he's going to be starring in it. I did see a rumor.
Maybe it's a broom with Ben Affleck's face duct taped to it.
I did see a rumor that he might be narrating it.
What? Why would he not star in it then?
Okay. The only reason I can think of that is if it's like a
younger Batman.
A much younger Batman, and it's like the whole thing's a flashback.
I swear to God, Ben Affleck is trying every trick in the book to get out of this deal with DC.
Apparently, they're taking some inspiration from Batman Year One, but it's not gonna quite be that.
And young Batman will be played by Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Yes.
And younger Robin will be played by Casey Affleck.
Oh, fuck.
Alan Tudyk.
No, that's the mocapped baby Robin.
Oh, okay, right.
Prenatal womb Robin.
Oh boy.
Next, we have Sony is once again trying to expand their Spider-Man universe while not having Spider-Man in it. They are now doing separate movies for Silk, Jackpot, and Nightwatch. While they have also said that they're not doing the Silver and Sable movie anymore, they're going to give them each their own separate movies. So you get a Black Cat and a Silver Sable movie, standalone ones.
Do you know, I read somewhere, and I can't remember exactly where, a theory, though, that Sony's been ramping up all this Spider-Man style Marvel stuff in the hopes of then offloading their rights to Disney.
Yeah,
like they're trying to make it look lucrative.
One of the Sony CEOs said a while back, this is back when we thought Sony was going up for sale, he said that he wants Sony to be pretty much a hardware company.
Yeah.
So that's why there's been rumors going around that they're selling it off. But yeah, the rumors are that they're going to sell it off to Marvel and Disney. But they're also saying now that Venom will not be going for an R-rated movie like they originally thought. It's going to be pushed the limits to a PG-13, so that eventually, if it possibly happens, Spider-Man and other characters can now cross over to it.
Yes.
That's their hope.
Having said that,
I
doubt an X-Force movie is going to be R-rated, so I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Well, no, X-Force will be.
You reckon?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
But I think, like, Sony having not, you know, I think they just want it to not, well, I don't know.
They just want to sell toys.
They want it so that it can blend in with the MCU, I think. I think that's all their whole goal.
So are they actively going to bridge the gap between the MCU and them, or is it?
I don't think they can. I think they're just gonna let it go, see how Venom does, make more movies that way.
Yeah.
And then see how Marvel feels about what they're doing with their franchise.
Because Feige and others have sort of alluded to not yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get the feeling that there's probably been some casual discussion, and I guess again, like Sony's going to try and put together a lucrative package. You go, okay, we've done origin stories and all these characters. The people want more. Buy the whole thing off us, and then if Disney then picks it up, there's the possibility then of bringing those characters into the main streamline, I guess.
Well, there was Amy Pascal when they were promoting Spider-Man: Homecoming. She said that Venom and the other movies are going to be pretty much adjacent to the MCU, and she sort of hinted that they exist in the MCU. While Kevin Feige, you see him in the interview, and his whole face is like, "Oh, why the fuck are you saying that? Please don't say that."
The interpretation I got, someone put together, made sense. It's kind of like the Netflix stuff and the MCU universe.
Yeah,
it's the same universe, but they just never touch, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of how the Sony stuff is, yeah. So I imagine like Venom will probably have a verbal or like a visual reference to say Spider-Man in some way, like there might be a newspaper article or something.
Well, the rumor is that because he goes to the scientist place, the Life Foundation, he goes there and they get the symbiotes. The rumor is that they're showing through a group of school students, and one of those just happens to be Peter Parker in a quick scene, because there were rumors that Peter Parker was in the movie, but not Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So
I thought that must have been like an intellectual property thing of like maybe Marvel had stipulated that Sony couldn't have Spider-Man, but they didn't specify that they couldn't use Peter Parker.
Yeah, so there might be that. That's the rumor, that he's going to walk past the screen for a brief scene and you just see Tom Holland as Peter Parker, and that's it.
Well, now that we're into Venom 2, or Venom, what did you think of the trailer, the number 2 trailer?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my fucking god.
Because a lot of fans were happy with the spleen and so many snacks line coming straight out of the comics.
Straight out of the
comics. The spleen?
But a lot of them were upset about the, face without a turd rolling in the wind line.
I was going to say, I was like, I didn't see Pee Wee Herman anywhere in that movie.
Right. Can I just say, and Jesse, I don't know, have you guys seen Hardy's performance in The Drop, where he plays Bob? He's like a bartender.
Yeah, I've got.
All right, yeah, I thought you would. I get a feeling just watching the trailers that Hardy's performance is very reminiscent of Bob, like the accent he's using, and
I thought that too. I thought he was very like downtown working class dude sort of act.
Yeah, it's like it's his Chicago accent or something, right?
Yeah, it's like he's auditioning for The Sopranos.
Okay, cool. I thought it was good. I'm glad it's not just me. That's freaky how attuned we are there. Yeah, because I'm watching it and I'm going, I've seen him play that before. Because, Hardy's normally he's well built and he's very sure of himself. Like, he's carries himself with a certain pride. But, the character of Bob is intentionally very reserved and sort of, slouched a little bit.
His posture is always closed.
To play the illusion, I guess, that story requires. And I just sort of got the same feeling with watching him in Venom here as Eddie. Like, he's just got that same thing. He's very, not introverted, but just he's not necessarily, I don't know, as aggressive.
He's got this like undercurrent of like weaseliness. Like he's
almost
like Eddie doesn't seem like a confident meathead like in some comics. He seems more like like he's half.
Whereas Tom Hardy in real life is more like Bane. You know what I mean? Like, he's just he doesn't hold back.
He's the fucking dude down and kicked his ass to save a lady's purse.
Yeah, he's exactly. So
he's Batman.
One thing I sort of noticed with this is that because he hasn't attached himself to Spider-Man, he has no webbing powers or anything like that. So in the trailer, you see Venom actually like pulling him out of the way and pushing things out of the way. So I guess they had to think of a way to get around him not having interacted with Spider-Man yet, and that's how they decided to do it. And another thing I noticed is that at 1:24 in the trailer, you see Venom sort of...
Ethan's got down to like minutes and seconds in the Venom trailer. Holy shit! He's like, can't wait. I get to get home and frame by frame this shit.
I did this. I woke up in the morning. I watched the trailer. I'm like, all right. When I get home from work, I'm framing by framing this fucking trailer.
You hear that, dear listeners? The dedication.
I love Venom. Is my favorite comic book character. I'm not missing a thing on this. But
he's so pissed about those Google eye pictures the internet did before.
At 1:24, you see Venom sort of extend out of his body like a tentacle with his mouth and eyes, and to me, that seems straight like the Darkness comics and video games, because you had that in that. You had the tentacles coming out of your character, and they would eat the hearts out of people and things like that. That seems very inspired from that, and also the internal struggle of Eddie with Venom and how it talks to you, that's also straight from the Darkness as well. If you've ever read the comics or played the game, that's a lot like that, how he has an internal struggle with the Darkness and it's always telling him to do this and do that, and they're always in a conflict. To me, this seems like could be a little bit inspired from that, I don't know, but there was some strong similarities between that to me. And not only that, but when you see, I think it's Riot create those giant blades and clear out a room, how he just seems to make shapes out of himself. That had a strong prototype feel from the game. How you could do similar things.
I thought that too. And the other thing that I noticed a lot of people talking about with the Venom trailer was that they believe that quite a few of the symbiotes that make an appearance in the Lethal Protector series will be featured in the movie. But they reckon that they've kind of blended a fair few of them into one character for each.
I think there's rumored to be about 5. I think in the movie all up. Because you see Venom, you see Riot, and then you see the female one. You see all them demonstrate powers, and then you see one other guy as well.
And you see Riz Ahmed at the end of the trailer when they're entangled. That's anti-Venom, isn't it?
No, that's right. He's right.
That is right? Okay. Yeah. Excellent. See, that's fucking too many.
Hasn't he come a long way since the Night Of?
He has.
The Night Of? What the hell is that?
Riz Ahmed.
What the hell? What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Night Of?
Yeah.
That's a really good mini-series that Riz Ahmed was in.
Yeah.
It's kind of what put him on the map, because before that, no one really gave
pretty much, because no one knew what he was, and then he came out in that, and everyone went, wow, who's this kid?
Yeah, even in,
I saw him in,
Thingy. Rogue One.
4 Lions was the first one I saw him in. And then I saw him in Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal as well. That was the first one, first big thing he was in was Nightcrawler.
Oh, yeah, he was in Nightcrawler.
He was the cameraman.
I'll come back to that later, by the way.
Anyway.
But yeah, anyway, I'm super excited for Venom. I cannot wait. The day that's out, I am there watching that straight away.
Are you going to be frame by frame?
Probably watching. Yeah, I'm gonna frame by frame it there at the movie theater.
Gonna go
So I'm gonna go watch it 3 more times after. Yep. Slow it down, frame by frame it.
Gonna get a $20,000 Phantom X camera.
And then I get $100,000 fine, but it'll be fine because I got to do a frame by frame.
Well, if you can afford one of those Phantom X cameras, you can afford $100,000.
Exactly. Yeah.
Those things aren't cheap.
Worth it.
All right. Next we have Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth. Star Trek
Probably just cheaper to buy a bunch of speed.
Yeah, it would be cheaper.
Why is this movie so slow?
Slow it down for myself. But yeah, so we got Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth. They're both. Chris Pine already has a contract in place for Star Trek 4, as far as I'm aware, and they did state that Chris Hemsworth are going to be back. But now it sounds as though it's in doubts because I think they want a certain amount of money, but the studio wants to keep costs down for the budget because the movie didn't make as much. Like number 3 didn't make as much.
What's the script? It sounds like a Godfather 2 kind of thing where we're going to jump between present day and past or something.
No, it's time travel.
This is just an excuse to put Chris Hemsworth in the film.
Yeah, it is. Because he was in the first movie for like...
Yeah, when he was still not like huge, and then you know, he became huge, and like, oh, we got to catch in on this.
Yep. But apparently Zoe Saldana, Zachary Quinto, Carl Urban, Simon Pegg, and John Cho are currently working out their deals, but it's most likely they're going to settle. They're just waiting on these two.
John Cho should. What the fuck is he up to these days?
He's just waiting between Star Trek movies.
I was gonna say he did that, and he did one season of The Exorcist.
And he just got a movie coming out at the moment called Crazy Rich Asians, I think it's called.
Oh, I bet that's going to be a real fucking hit.
No, that's the name gives it away. It's just so catchy.
Next we have Zazie Beetz has her role in the Joker movie.
My future wife.
Okay, you're gonna marry Zazie. Does Zazie Beetz know that you're marrying her?
I sure will.
I'm pretty sure she's already with someone, Jesse.
You what?
I'm pretty sure she's already with someone. I'm sorry, Jesse.
Nah, nothing lasts forever, buddy. It's alright.
Jesse, stop polishing that razor blade. You're worrying me.
Nothing lasts forever, Scopes in.
She is revealed to be playing a character called Sophie Dumont. She's a single mother living on the Lower East Side, and she catches the interest of the Joker.
Well, that's
presumably before he's the Joker.
Yeah, you never want to catch the interest of the Joker.
Especially not if you're a single mother.
No.
Who's actually Domino and very lucky.
Yeah. Next we have, there's been a bunch of rumors going around the past couple of days about Idris Elba being the next Bond. And it seems quite likely that after Daniel Craig does his final film, that it's most likely going to pass on to Idris Elba.
Yes. Yeah, well, he's only about 4 years younger than Craig too. It's not a massive age difference, but
is he younger than Daniel Craig?
Yeah, he's 4 years younger.
Wow, I don't know why I always thought that Idris Elba was older than that.
Yeah. The thing is, right, I get like there was a lot of discussion about, you know, playing a minority card and all the rest of it. But the funny thing is like when I heard about it, I wasn't like, oh cool, they're being diverse. I just went, oh cool, Idris is a great actor. He'd do that part well.
Exactly what I thought.
Yeah, it made I didn't care whether he was green, purple, or something in between. Like he obviously will need to get fit because he's never been particularly like he's not like I wouldn't want to get in a brawl with the guy, but he's not like fit. So obviously there's going to be
no. He was recently. He did a whole
he did that
series with the
docu-series
boxing
on Discovery. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, there you go.
After watching that docu-series, I reckon you could get in a brawl with him because I reckon they paid off the guy that he quote unquote defeated in the ring at the end of that episode. It looked sus as fuck.
But he got really fit for that movie. He got buffed up. He got really fit.
All right, well, yeah. I enjoy most of his stuff. I mean, I think we're still waiting on Luther 5, so I mean, I'm all down for him as James Bond.
Next, we have Anton Fuqua, who has directed Training Day and The Equalizer. He's apparently, he apparently said that has some talks with he said then have some talks with Kevin Feige pretty soon.
Oh no.
Just some talks. There's nothing concrete. He's just having some talks about a potential movie.
I just want Marvel to leave people alone.
Is he doing the second Equalizer, or is that a whole different team?
I'll tell you in just a sec.
Because I saw the trailer for that, and that looked pretty good too.
I've heard reviews come back for Equalizer 2 as being meh, but then again, Equalizer 1 got reviews like that, and it's pretty good.
He did number 2 as well.
But then I've also heard Sicario 2's a bit which worries me.
I heard that about number 1 as well.
No, it's not. You're shit. Shut your face.
But so there's
Wrong.
And another bit of news that's upset a lot of people is that the Academy Awards has added a popular film category for the Oscars.
Yeah, but they're also... Sorry, go on. No, go on. You were talking.
A lot of people think it's just to not disappoint people about Black Panther, Ready Player One, and all those sorts of movies who they think, this movie deserves to win an award. It's for that. And people aren't happy.
Yeah, to be fair though, nobody likes change. Like everybody, it doesn't matter what it is. I could change the packaging on the chips at McDonald's and everyone would get pissy, right? People don't like change. But they're also changing the way it's presented on TV. Like they're going to be doing like lesser awards and ad breaks and all this sort of stuff to try and squeeze it down.
Because last year had the lowest views for the Academy Awards, so they think also adding this in is going to bring in a bit more views as well. Yeah,
I mean the whole thing is. Sure, I mean, yes, absolutely, giving credit to people who do a good job, but there's also a lot of wank in there as well, so I don't... I mean,
what if, let's say Transformers fucking 7 or Bumblebee's the most popular movie in the world, what if that goes on to win a fucking Oscar?
Emoji Movie, best...
exactly, Emoji Movie or something like that.
In terms of, if it's popularity, like if it's terms of like... people talking about it, I guess, rather than actual money made. Isn't it just gonna be something Chinese every year because they've just got the population?
I think it would be like the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards kind of thing. It's what it will be. It really will. Like it'd just be.
I guess it'd probably just be like cinema mention movies. People would just vote.
I they'll do like remember the last time I gave a shit or watched any one of those things anyway. So I'm sure there's plenty of people.
Like, what one did my daughter talk about?
Yeah. No. Anyway.
That's all the news I had.
Alright. Well, so when we said it was like super busy, we lied.
No, we kind of just got through it quickly.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Well, it's because we didn't have Lucas and myself yelling at Ethan so much this fortnight.
About what?
I can't tell you.
Oh, just anything in general.
Yeah, just my shit taste in movies is one.
Yeah, we normally just abuse
we could spend about 5 minutes on that if you need.
just kicking the dog, really. That's all we do.
Let me cross off what I watched. So I watched Geostorm. No, I didn't fucking watch it.
I watched Geostorm.
Why?
Nice try. I did. Because if you go back to the podcast where we talked about it as an upcoming trailer, I'm like, I kind of like end of the world movies. I get my popcorn, I get my soda, and I watch everyone die. And that's cool. Like, to me, it's a no thinking experience, right? And I'm like, I saw the trailer, and I'm like, cool, there's like, floods in Dubai and end of the world. This looks cool. And then I watched the movie, and all that end of the world shit that you see in the trailer, that's all there is. There's 2-hour movie, and there's about 4 minutes of end of the world shit. It's terrible. What's his face? Old mate who was in 300 and everything. Like, just going to shit. Gerard Butler. Like, just, he's just killing his career. Killing it. Stop doing shit movies.
What are you talking about? Gods of Egypt was a new high.
Oh. I love Egyptian stuff. And I started watching that movie and I was like, nah. Not at all.
Bad. But it's so bad that it's kind of good. It's pretty impressively fucking
Daisy
terrible.
Beat is in Geostorm?
Is she?
There you go, GC, go watch it.
I'm on now. I'm on board.
I started watching Man in the High Castle again because I know Amazon. I never watched season 2, and Amazon's got season 3 coming out soon. I've been doing my Castle Rock every week like a good boy. What have you thought of it so far, Jesse?
I actually haven't had a chance to watch it. It's on Amazon Prime, right?
I still haven't watched episode 3.
It's only on Hulu. Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I spent a while watching a documentary called All the Queen's Horses.
That really doesn't make me feel better, no.
It should. It's actually really good. It's all about this woman who in America who was like in a small town that committed insane bank fraud. And she bought like 400 something fucking horses over like 20 or 12 years, something like that.
Okay.
It's really, really weird. It's a good documentary. Anyway, okay, that's my 40-year-old man spiel for today.
You know what's sad is I am a 40-year-old man.
I didn't watch Event Horizon for the first time.
You watched Geostorm.
I did. I watched Geostorm. I did. I'm not gonna hide. I'm not gonna hide behind it. But it was better than what's that other stupid thing that was like the end of the world? It's got the dude out of Ant-Man and the Wasp and Luke Cage.
Knowing?
The alien invasion thing. Extinction. Oh boy, I saw the trailer for that and was like, hard nope. Hard nope.
Yeah.
I mean, for all the good stuff Netflix make, they also make some amazing piles of shit.
They make some pretty impressive piece of shit.
Well, whatever they, I don't care.
Because Universal or Paramount were like, this movie's turned out shit from what we thought. I'm just gonna like sell it off to somewhere else. And Netflix is like, yeah, all right, we'll buy it.
Send it to Netflix.
$1.50.
Yeah.
It's true though. Netflix has got to be careful. They're going to become synonymous with shit.
Well, they'll end up like Amazon.
I mean, look at the Cloverfield paradox.
Hey.
Oh, shots fired across the back. I'm gonna eat a fuck. I thought it was subpar, but I mean.
I suppose I talk about DC, how shit they are alike, so it's about time someone gets
Let's move on to the topic of conversation for this fortnight that's been dreamed up by Jesse, which is anti-heroes?
Pornhub, where will we go next?
Okay, whatever it might be. But you're leading the charge on this one, so take us away.
Well, with the recent advent of VR, I'm talking about the new horizons we have for the porn industry. So, no, I'm not.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I thought that because Venom is enjoying its day in the sun for once after my entire childhood of loving that character, I thought, why don't we go back through and look for some decent anti-heroes from film and television, because we've got Venom coming up now, which is kind of like the quintessential anti-hero for a lot of people, especially because it's based off of his comic arc where he really is the quote-unquote hero character.
Okay. So, who's the first anti-hero, like, ever on screen?
The first anti-hero ever on screen?
Yeah, I mean, you did your homework before you started this show, right?
Yeah, but I didn't go that far back in history.
I mean, don't tell me you just wrote anti-hero on a notepad and underlined it.
Anti-hero. I wrote anti-hero, drew a little picture of Batman. That's what
I'd be curious, like, who was considered largely, by and large... There you go, Ethan, Google that up for us while we're on here.
The earliest anti-hero...
One of the earliest... I'm sure someone's got, some of the earliest anti-heroes on film.
Like, I mean...
Sorry?
Tony Soprano, this is what...
Tony Soprano.
I'm sure it goes back a little further than that.
It goes back further than that.
Like 2004 or something, yeah. Sure it goes back further than that.
I got a whole list of people. I know a really common anti-hero... a really common anti-hero film that a lot of people say you wouldn't think of is Citizen Kane.
Haven't watched
Never seen it.
So like that there you go. That's going pretty far back. But I think if you're looking for quintessential anti-heroes in like popular culture, you're probably going back to like Alexandria Dumas.
Well, actually, no. I think we wouldn't Clockwork Orange.
That would be one of the Clockwork Orange is on my list.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because that's. I mean, what's that? That's in the '70s. So that's got to be one of the earlier anti-hero films. Yeah.
So is Barry Lyndon's an anti-hero.
Okay.
Which is another Stanley Kubrick movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
But like, yeah, Alex DeLarge is definitely like an anti-hero, even though he's not really very fucking heroic.
No,
but then again,
yeah,
it depends on what your definition of like. Well, what's your definition of anti-hero? Because you got people on one hand like Batman who are considered anti-heroes, like the dark hero, the hero that does good things.
I think the definition by itself has changed over time.
It has, because look at Venom and look at Batman. They're clearly not the same characters.
Honestly, you can probably chuck another one in there who's also fairly famous, and that's Spawn. He's a largely anti-hero as well.
Also on my list.
Yeah. I would say an anti-hero is probably someone who, while they don't necessarily do everything for good, they don't necessarily do things for bad. They're in between, and I guess they kind of just do things for themselves, is what I would say.
Well, I think the definition is hero.
Yeah.
I think an anti-hero is the goal by any means necessary.
Yeah.
In that, I need to stop this particular person committing crimes. So the easiest way to do that is just to kill everybody, for instance.
Yes,
exactly.
That would be an anti-hero. They've still saved the day, they've just done it in a way that is not socially acceptable. Whereas Superman, who is the classic hero, would arrest them.
Well, that's the thing. Is like you just said, like you're going down the superhero route. But what you like you said then, the goal by any means necessary. If that's the definition of an anti-hero, then that means Mrs. Doubtfire is an anti-hero.
Except but I suppose with heroic flair would be better.
Oh yeah, but that's what I mean. Is that I've got a lot of characters on this list that are not superheroes. That are anti-heroes, and Mrs. Doubtfire is one of them.
But sure, I mean, hero is the. I mean, what is the dictionary.com's definition of an anti-hero then? Did you look that up?
God, let's find out.
All right,
anti-hero.
Right.
A protagonist who lacks the. Shush you.
We all
You asked us a question, and I am fucking answering.
Well, I've got an answer. A protagonist who lacks the attributes that make a heroic figure as nobility of mind and spirit, a life or attitude marked by action or purpose and the like. First recorded 1705 to 1715, according to this site.
Yeah, in a book.
So in that definition, like the Count of Monte Cristo would fit the attributes of an anti-hero, which is probably why that's considered like one of the oldest anti-hero stories.
Sure, I mean, and I imagine if I was to scratch my head for a little bit, I could probably come up with some Shakespearean anti-heroes as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I mean, like I also have on my list here...
I could probably find a biblical anti-hero if I was so inclined.
Isn't Punisher like almost considered the ultimate anti-hero though as well?
Jesus.
I think he was probably... I don't know if he's the sort of the fundamental basis, but he certainly... I think he was just more than one of the most popular because he sort of really... I guess he popularized it, is one way of saying it. Yeah.
Wait, who are you saying popularized anti-heroism?
Punisher.
I thought you said Jesus.
No, what?
I was what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, no, not sure about Jesus being an anti-hero.
I was sitting here thinking, what did he do? Gotta climb on this cross now, guys.
Let's not go here. Oh boy, let's not go there. This is a dangerous avenue. We'll get swatted. Let's not do this.
Back to Punisher.
Back to Punisher. That's a much safer topic. Yeah. All right. So let's bang through some of the names on your list then. All
right. Well, we've already gone through Mrs. Doubtfire, which was a joke, but it's kind of true. And obviously Batman is a really big one for people because he's kind of like the Punisher in like popularizing it. Specifically, Batman in BVS, I'd say, in the film versions of Batman. Although, that's a pretty anti-heroic.
Isn't there also like a difference between hero and vigilante? And isn't Batman more considered a vigilante more than anything?
Yeah, but that's like the definition that Toby read out about anti-heroes before, they kind of are vigilante. They could be vigilantes. Like that would be their job description, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So he's vigilante, member of a self-appointed group of citizens who undertake law enforcement in their community without legal authority, typically because the legal agencies are thought to be inadequate.
Yeah, but Superman's a vigilante, but he's not an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then again, Superman's not even fucking human, so I mean, I guess some of the rules don't apply.
He doesn't even go here!
I mean, you said you're vigilante, and the image to represent it is a picture of fucking Batman.
Yeah, there you go. But I also had on my list people like Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver.
Yeah, I know that's... Yeah. No, I guess in his mind he's saving Jodie Foster and whatever have you and a few other things. But I mean, that's really getting, I think, close to the line there. I mean, he's almost a villain.
Him and people like Patrick Bateman. Like Patrick Bateman, you could consider an anti-hero because he's the protagonist of the film, but he's by no means a good guy.
Right, but in his mind, he's doing the right thing as well.
Yeah. In his mind, he's constantly.
Yeah, but then people who shoot up movie cinemas think they're doing the right thing too.
I'm not saying the clock tower shooters are anti-heroes.
Yeah, like it is a fine line because you've got on one hand you could say Deadpool obviously is an anti-hero, but if we take him in his comic book version, he's just insane.
Yeah, he's fucking...
I wouldn't say he's an anti-hero. I would just say he's completely insane.
And the Mask, again, like you just said, like with Deadpool, the Mask in the 1994 movie, he's an anti-hero. But in the comics, he's a fucking monster. Like, the Mask is awful.
Yeah, because he's just insane. There you go. So, I guess there's a sort of a fine line there where you sort of, if you go too far, and again, Taxi Driver, he's insane. So if you slide a little bit too far, then you're not an anti-hero, you're just a fucking nut job. But you slide in another direction, you're a vigilante.
That's right. But at the same time, if you're a vigilante, you can also be insane. Like, Batman's pretty fucked up. He's definitely got some clinical issues with him.
Yeah, he's got some mum and dad issues.
He's got some mummy daddy. He's got some Martha issues.
And some little boyfriend issues too with Robin.
Yeah, well, that's a conversation for another topic. But all right, let's do something easier then. What about Mad Max?
Yes, definitely. I would say as an anti-hero. Yep.
Because he's kind of like the D&D true neutral kind of hero. He's like
he
the
certainly
guy that
starts
just
as
involved.
he starts as a hero and then becomes an anti-hero. I mean, that story in Road Warrior is because again he takes that vigilante path, doesn't he? So perhaps
he's not really involved, and he gets forced to be involved.
Perhaps we could say then that vigilante is more of a gateway to the anti-hero.
It's
where you
kind
have,
of like
a
pseudo occupation.
You sort of take the hero and justice doesn't work, so there's the gateway of vigilante and they become the anti-hero by proxy.
Yeah, I feel like anti-hero is a mindset and vigilante is your action you choose to take with it. Because you can be an anti-hero and be fucked up, or you can be an anti-hero and be useful.
Well, here's the thing that I'm reading right now. It's on like people who want to create an anti-hero for a book or a story or whatever. And it says, make the character flawed. No matter what his actions are, the intentions are always good. Why is he bad? Find a good reason and explain it. So I guess it's someone who who has good intentions but may not do the most righteous thing.
Yeah, but then by that definition, then Thanos is an anti-hero.
Thanos was on my list. He was on my list as like, well, what about Thanos? Because he
believes he's doing the right thing.
Yeah, he absolutely thinks he's doing the right thing.
He makes difficult decisions. Give him enough qualities. He makes a change in people's lives. The anti-heroes are real.
I think Thanos certainly made some changes in people's lives. You are now some dust.
Ethan approves Space Hitler.
Hey. Okay, spelling that out.
What would be interesting, Jesse, is actually, because obviously a lot of what we're looking at is from sort of an American point of view, but I would be curious to know what, say, an Indian audience or a Chinese audience or a Japanese audience might interpret as an anti-hero. Because I think their society is different enough that they might even have sort of a different spin on things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. It would be interesting. I mean, I imagine to a Chinese audience, a lot of the roles perhaps Jackie Chan took when he's younger might be seen more as an anti-hero because of the way he sort of, obviously he's a bit of a rebel, cheeky rebel, mind you. But you know what I mean? Like, there's those possibilities. But yeah, I would be interested, actually, to sort of get an idea, like, look up some movies and get an idea of anti-hero films from around the world and just sort of stack them up next to the standard Western idea of an anti-hero and just sort of see what differences there could be.
Yeah.
What about Riddick?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'd say so.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, although the joke being that, you know, everyone's terrified of Riddick as being this murderer, and yet, you know, he never murders anybody who's innocent.
No. He just does what he needs to you know, move on.
In fact, does he actually? I don't think he actually even kills anyone in Pitch Black. Like, he gets into a knife fight.
I don't think he kills any human characters.
Yeah, but
not Pitch Black. No.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a bit pretentious, actually.
What about Dominic Toretto?
I just saw that here.
As soon as he said Vin Diesel, I swear my mind went. I was like, I bet Dominic fucking Toretto's.
Yeah, well, yeah, he kind of is.
Oh, absolutely, he's a thief.
Anything stands in the way of family, you know, he's doing whatever he can.
Oh, he's just a rip-off of Nicolas Cage and Gone in 60 Seconds.
Dun, 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 dun,
well, this also lists Shrek as an anti-hero as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Again, I'd probably put him more as a reluctant hero.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't ever really do anything bad at any stage.
I don't know, he does mess up that queue, that big queue where he walks through all the velvet roads.
Fucking hell.
Someone spent all morning putting
How dare he? Quick, grab the cuffs.
There's Jason Bourne, there's Jack Sparrow on here.
Yeah,
Jack
Bourne,
Sparrow is
definitely.
one I agree with.
Yeah, Jason Bourne, definitely an anti-hero.
Hellboy.
Yes.
Yeah, I had Hellboy on my list. I also had the driver from Drive.
Never seen it.
Yeah. You just got a fetish for Gosling, haven't you?
I do.
Yeah, actually, I like Drive. I did.
I love Drive. I think it's fantastic.
Another one on here is Malcolm Reynolds from Firefly. Another anti-hero.
Yeah, I'd pay that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's again. You've got, but by that definition too. Then so is Luke Skywalker.
That was actually on my list. I thought specifically how Luke appears in Last Jedi.
Yeah, because you've got well, yeah, it goes dark, but you've still got, at the end of the day, whether the Empire is, wrong and oppressive or not, there's still the law of the land, and you're fighting against it, so you're breaking the law.
The law!
Yeah. So, which is funny, because then on the flip side, you would normally say that in any other scenario, Judge Dredd would be an anti-hero, considering how he goes about justice, but because of the law of the land, he's not. He's actually just a hero. Yep. So... Yes.
Really fucked up hero. What about Machete?
Yeah, that's on here too.
Yeah, Machete would be one. So would probably a lot of Quentin Tarantino characters, actually.
Anti-heroes, imperfections that separate them from a typical hero characters: selfishness, ignorance, bigotry, lack of positive qualities such as courage, physical prowess, and fortitude, and qualities considered dark traits, usually belonging to villains.
Yeah.
Greed, violent tendencies. I mean, yeah, there's just so many.
It's a very blanket statement.
Well, I mean, looking here on this list, it limits. Where is it? Michael Scott from The Office is an anti-hero.
Really?
Yeah. It has so much. Dexter from Dexter. Another
anti-hero.
Let's place he is. Yeah. Don Draper from Mad Men.
Negan would probably be in there as well, actually, considering how depicted in the TV series.
I mean, he's not, but yeah, he would be.
It's interesting though, going through sort of the Wikipedia list of fictional anti-heroes, and
that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, 99% is American, and the other 1% is British.
Yeah,
with like Jack Harkness and Sherlock Holmes and Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar the Grouch.
But yeah, like it's very Western, and it's just like I'm not seeing any names on here from. I mean, if I go into anime and manga, obviously there's a few, but yeah, there's not a lot. Sort of.
I can give you one from Bollywood.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to mean anything to me, but that's good.
There's a character in a really popular film franchise in Bollywood called Singham. You've probably seen a video of him. He's a Bollywood film cop that literally looks like a freaking highway patrol trooper, and he picks up he rips a lamppost out of a ship docking pier and literally punts a random dude into fucking space with it. It's amazing. It is really incredible. And every time he shows up, this awesome theme song comes on in background for these people going, sing and it's like dun 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 dun, and then he'll turn up and beat the fuck out of people. It's really, really good. I watched it with my best friend one night on YouTube years ago. We just found it, and there was no subtitles in English, so we watched the entire 3.5 hour movie trying to figure out what it was about. And then we went and looked it up afterwards, and we were absolutely right about what the plot line was. It was really cool. I encourage anyone to go do that. Go watch a foreign movie without subtitles and try and figure out who all the characters are, what the fuck it's about, and then see if you were right.
Well, I do all the time. American films are foreign. And I still don't know what the fuck they're about.
Looking at Wikipedia's list for anti-heroes, Venom isn't even on here.
Really?
Yeah. They have Wolverine, V from V for Vendetta.
Yeah, V.
Spawn, Punisher, Magneto, Jesse Custer from Preacher, John Constantine, Jason Todd, Hulk, Deadpool, Catwoman, Batman.
Yeah, well, but for a large part of the time, Venom has just been a straight-up villain.
Yeah, he has. He's pretty much only an anti-hero in his own string of comics.
Yeah, especially when you get into the one that's currently in for the movie and the Agent Venom series and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Then they delve into more of the whole.
Well,
Venom
Jesse, I gotta say, I'm disappointed for lack of diversity.
Lack
of diversity. I was hoping we could take this subject broader. I did. I really wanted to go.
What? You want me to go into animation?
No, well, yeah.
Are the Animaniacs anti-hero?
Am I the anti-hero of our podcast?
No.
I don't know. I think I might be, actually, because of my love for DC.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no. I'm just a straight-up villain.
You're just a villain.
I'm the bad guy. But, yeah, like I said, I would be really keen... to... and the thing is, obviously, I haven't not... I mean... I've probably watched some French stuff, and I've watched a few, Chinese waifu, but I probably haven't watched anywhere near enough international, non-English films to really get a good feel of. But that's something that I kind of, what's his face? Who's in The Professional? Leon. What's the actor's name?
John.
John. Whatever his famous.
Whatever.
Like I've seen him in some other stuff, like some French stuff, and where it's real noir cop stuff, and you could argue that was sort of, and in fact, I would imagine noir, and this is probably why the Blade Runner character is on there. Noir, by most standards, is probably, anti-hero, or at least reluctant hero, because it's all it's the theme of the, he's an alcoholic more often than not, and all the rest of it, and it has, like we've said, by definition, has all these other problems, and so I mean, you could probably dig up a bunch of French noir films.
Well, like, I had Leon the Professional on my list, but I also had, to do with people's problems, I had Captain Invincible, as played by Alan Arkin. Does anyone know that movie?
Nope.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
No, I don't.
Fucking hell. I was like, no, I'm the only one. So it's a movie that was written by Richard O'Brien, the guy that did Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's a musical, and it's basically about this superhero who has a drinking problem, and he doesn't want to be a superhero anymore. And then Christopher Lee turns up, who's his nemesis, and the whole plotline of the movie is that Christopher Lee's trying to tempt Captain Invincible to fall back off the wagon because he's sober now. So he's constantly singing songs to him about drinking alcohol. That's it.
So what you're saying is that was the predecessor for Hancock, starring Will Smith.
Yes, there was, and it's a much better movie.
Knight Rider's an anti-hero.
Knight Rider is an anti-hero. But so is The Equalizer.
Go Hoff. Dun,
Who?
Dun, 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 dun. When was the last time you watched an episode of Knight Rider?
The fuck is Knight Rider?
In 1990.
Wow.
I'm kidding, I know what Knight Rider is. Get old Kit the car.
What's that Knight Rider?
I know.
Yeah, like I need to go back and watch some Knight Rider. I need to
go back and watch the Equalizer TV series. It's really
good. And some
good.
Magnum PI.
Oh, Magnum PI.
You're doing a new one.
Yeah, no. You're gonna go back and watch the original stuff.
What about the three men from Three Men and a Baby? They're anti-heroes.
What? This is getting silly now. This is just getting silly.
Well, when you think about it, they are anti-heroes.
Why?
They want to do the right thing, but they do it all wrong.
No.
It's kind of like
no.
Even the burglars in Baby's Day Out are anti-heroes.
Oh, you're the worst.
Is that the same one from like Home Alone?
No.
Fine. The kid
is
out
Kevin
of
McAllister an anti-hero?
Oh, you bastard! I was just about to say Home Alone. Oh, you motherfucker! Oh wow, that's freaky. I'm a little worried now. Because I was actually spitting out fucking, Macaulay Culkin, and you said that. That's scary. That is truly scary. Yes, I guess, but it's dumb.
Yes, but it's dumb.
I mean, yes. But
so really, by this standard, any dad in a sitcom is probably an anti-hero. Because they want to do the right thing, but they always fuck it up.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, Peter Griffin's on this list.
Yeah, same as Brian.
I was going to say Homer Simpson would be on the list too, wouldn't he, surely?
Probably. But
would Tim Allen from Home Improvement be on there?
Yeah.
God, I hope not.
Well,
it's dumb.
Nigel Thornberry.
Hal from Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh my god. Oh, what about Jareth the Goblin King from Labyrinth?
No, he's a villain.
Yeah, but he's a concept.
No.
What do you mean no?
He's just a villain.
He's a symbol for sexual awakening.
He's a villain. No. This is getting silly now. George Costanza is a fucking anti-hero according to this list. What?
George Costanza.
It says George Costanza, Seinfeld. What
he's
the?
He's not an anti-hero. He's just a dick. All of the Seinfeld cast are just wankers.
Yeah, I think we're done with. We've
hit the bottom of the barrel.
We've hit the bottom. Yeah. So in summary, George Costanza is an anti-hero. Side by side, he's arguably just as bad as the Punisher.
Yeah. He's just as much of an anti-hero as Macaulay Culkin.
But I think, wrapping it all up, in terms of anti-hero, the other reason why, like, Punisher made it popular. I mean, most of the soldiers in the US Army put his logo on their gear somewhere. Like, he is the penultimate badass, and...
I'd say Punisher and Conan.
Yeah, okay.
I think Conan the Barbarian's a pretty iconic anti-hero.
The trouble is he's not as well known today.
No, he's not. He's not as prolific. But then again, like,
he's not as entrenched in pop culture. Certainly he's known, and people know Howard's work and all the rest of it in the comic books and shit. But I think Punisher is a bigger name. And yeah, look, again, yes, good point. Conan from the written by Howard in the 20s is again a good example of an early anti-hero. But yes, I think in terms of modern culture, if I asked random people on the street, name 3 anti-heroes, I would imagine Punisher is going to be one of those names by just about everybody.
Yeah, I think Punisher would definitely crop up.
He's the poster boy.
I'd say Punisher and Batman would be 2 really likely options, even if Batman doesn't fit the moniker as much as Punisher.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our topic of conversation for this fortnight. We'll be back
pretty deep.
We'll be back next fortnight with a whole bunch of news again, no doubt. We'll wipe the black. If that reminds me, actually, we'll wipe the blackboard clean, but we'll just ask Jesse to go out and beat the dusters between now and then, because he's been
gonna beat the devil out of him like Bob Ross.
And we'll have to think up some exciting new topic of conversation between now and then as well. I'm not sure if Lucas is back. I don't think he is, so we're gonna have to drag you kicking and screaming back for another one. I think, Jesse.
I think he might be back by the next one.
Right. Oh, in that case, I'll just snap a pool cue in half and drop it on the floor. I would like to thank all of our Patreon supporters for helping making this possible. Your donations allow us to have our super special SoundCloud account and encourage us to keep going. So thank you very much. And we will catch you all next fortnight. Dun 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 dun.